You ever walk into a place so shiny and perfect you can practically smell the million-dollar pressure in the air? That's how it hit meth moment. Those elevator doors slid open, and I stepped into the lobby at Luxec Industries. I mean, this was the kind of place where the marble floors are so spotless you almost feel bad for wearing regular shoes, and every light fixture looks like it costs more than my whole apartment. My hands clung to this old leather folder, the edges worn from years of hope, nerves buzzing through my fingertips. I was already pretty sure I didn't belong here, not in the way most folks would think. But still, I pressed the wrinkles out of my thrift store blazer, square my shoulders, and try to look like I did. There's this look people give you, you know? The receptionist hit me, with Ida quick scan up and down, eyebrows so arched I almost laughed. "You're here for the junior AI developer interview?" she said, real slow, as if I might not answer in English. I gave her my best calm nod. "Yes, Emily Carter." She didn't even try to hide that split second of doubt before waving me toward the elevators. "Top floor. Mister. Blake will see you shortly." Well, great. All I had to do was impress the youngest tech billionaire in the country easy, right? In that mirrored elevator, with the city spreading out beneath me, I caught my Reflectiano makeup, ponytail a little too loose, but eyes set like steel. I heard my dad's voice in my head, the way he'd say, "Don't let where you come from decide where you're going, Em." He was probably fixing the tractor by flashlight right then, back in Nebraska, not knowing his daughter was about to have her whole life put under a microscope. When those doors slid open again, I nearly tripped. The executive suite was like a movie set. Windows stretching up forever, art on the walls so modern, I couldn't even guess what it meant. I was ushered into this boardroom black glass table, high-back chairs, the kind of silence that makes your pulse sound loud. At the head of the table sat Adrian Blake, sharp jaw, hair too perfect, reputation for being brilliant and ruthless. He didn't look up at first, just flicked through my resume on his tablet. "Emily Carter," he muttered, like he was still deciding whether I was worth his time. Then he hit the part about the farm. "No, Ivy League. Local university. Part-time jobs," he stopped. "You coded an irrigation app during college?" I nodded, trying not to fidget. "Yes, sir. It helped local farmers automate watering cycles based on weather. I used open-source tools." He let out a small laugh. Glancing at his assistant like this was a punchline. "So, you built a crop watering app, and now you think you're ready for AI development at Lux?" My face got hot, but I kept my voice steady. "I think real innovation is about solving real problems, wherever they show up." He leaned back, folding his arms. "You know how many candidates walk through here with degrees from MIT and Stanford?" he asked, not waiting for an answer. "Do you really think coming from farm gives you an edge?" I met his eyes. "Where I come from taught me to work with no excuses," I said. "I fixed old hardware with scrap parts. I taught myself to code after barn chores. My solutions might be simple, but they work." The room went quiet. One of the HR managers chewed her lip, probably thinking I was done for. But then Adrian stood up, something shifting in his eyes. "10 minutes," he said, jerking his head toward a coding station in the corner. "Solve the prompt on the screen. The unspoken partlets, see what a farmer's kid can do-hung heavy in the air." I walked over, heart thumping, and read the problem. It was tough, sure, but I'd seen worse. I set my hands on the keyboard and got to work, not even glancing back. 8 minutes later, I stood up. "It's done." He came over, his expression changing as he read first a frown, then a glint of surprise. He ran my code, checked the output, then did again. Finally, he looked at me. "Did anyone help you with this?" I shook my head. "No, sir. I've done similar work back home." He just stared for a moment, then turned to his team. "We're done here. Thank you, Emily." I gathered my things, disappointment burning in my chest. I thought it was over. Another door slammed in my face. As I headed toward the elevator, I caught Adrian's voice, low but clear. "Run a background check on AgriSync. If it's her, call me immediately." I had no idea I just rattled the whole building. Next morning, I was back in boots and jeans, unloading hay with my dad when my phone rang. "Miss Carter?" "Mister. Blake would like a follow-up meeting. Can you be here by 2?" Sweat dripped down my face as I said yes, wondering what on earth they'd found. This time, when I walked into the boardroom, Adrian was standing, waiting. Gone was the smirk now. He just looked human. "I owe you an apology," he said. "Honestly, I thought I'd misheard." "I looked into AgriSync," he continued, "the open-source software transforming small farms. You built all of it." I nodded. Didn't have the money for patents or marketing. Just wanted to help folks. He shook his head. "You could have sold it for millions." I shrugged. Wasn't the point. My dad always says if you can fix something that helps people, you should. Not everything's about profit. You could feel the mood shift. Adrian walked around the table and slid a folder across to me. "What if I told you I want you to head up a new division? Farm tech, rural innovation built by someone who actually gets it." I blinked, pretty sure this was a joke. "You want me to lead a team?" I thought I was up for junior developer. He smiled. "You were. But you don't belong behind someone else's keyboard. You belong at the head of the table." I studied the offer, but more than that, I studied his face. This wasn't some PR stun that was dead serious. "Why me?" I asked. "You've got people with better resumes." He nodded. "But none of them built a precision farming platform with junkyard laptops and free code. None of them ever made me feel ashamed for judging someone." He hesitated, then smirked. "Besides, I need someone to remind me that real intelligence doesn't always wear a suit." I grinned. "One condition. I want to hire interns from rural colleges kids who never get a shot at a place like this." He paused, considering. "Done." News traveled fast suddenly. Everyone wanted to talk about the farmer's daughter shaking up the tech world. Tech blogs ran headlines, investors got curious, but honestly, none of that mattered to me. What mattered was seeing the stuff we made actually help people low-cost sensors, AI drones for crop health, water-saving tools my dad could actually afford. One evening, walking past Adrian's office, he waved me in. "You're making me look bad, Carter," he said, grinning at a screen full of climbing stock prices. "Our investors think I'm a genius now." I laughed. "Guess we make a good team." He grew serious for a second. "No hard feelings? About how I treated you?" I shrugged. "You judged me, but you listened when it counted. That's what matters." There was a long pause, the kind that feels comfortable, like maybe you're finally seen for who you are. He said, "This company needed a little dirt under its nails." And I couldn't help but grin. Maybe you needed a reminder about what grit really looks like. Fast forward a few months there, I was standing on a stage at a national tech conference, demoing LuxTech's new rural AI suite to an audience that actually included kids from the kinds of towns I grew up in. I was told barnyard grit didn't belong in boardrooms, I said, my voice steady. But brilliance can come from anywhere if you're willing to see it. The crowd erupted. And there in the front row, Adrian smiled, not like he'd discovered me, but proud that I'd proven him and the whole world wrong. "You want a moral? Maybe it's this. Never underestimate the power of someone who grew up fixing what they couldn't afford to replace." Maybe the real question is, show many doors stay closed because we're all too busy judging the one who's knocking? What would you have done if you were in Adrian's shoes or in mine? Drop a comment. Let's talk about where real innovation starts.